Hello friends. Today we will discuss about another index, column store index. So what is a column store index? So column store index is a type of index that organizes the data by columns instead of rows. So suppose we are just created clustered index or non-clustered index. So that time it will generate the index based on that raw data. It will store the data like databases, rows of data. Okay, but we create the column store indexes, then it will store the data in the database in the data pages by columns. Mainly the column store indexes are used for data warehousing, business intelligence, and reporting, like that purpose. It will help to improve the scan performance, and the data also will in compression model. Okay, so we can check how to create a column store index in a table. Okay, so we have the same table customer. So here we have only primary key only, so it will automatically create the cluster index. Okay, so suppose we want to create a column store index. How we can create? We can use create. We need to, the column store indexes are also two types, clustered and non-clustered. Also we can create. Okay, so first we need to create one clustered column storage. So here we can tell clustered column store index. Then we can do IDX table name custom. We can just given one name. Okay, column store like that picture on table name. So the clustered column store indexes we can create based on the table only. It will not create based on the columns. Okay, the columns, the clustered column store indexes we can create based on the table only. We can try with like some columns. We can check like we can try like ID command ID. We can just try. Okay, we can just execute this. See, the statement failed because specifying key list not allowed to creating clustered column store indexes without specifying the key list. We cannot create clustered column store indexes based on the key. You cannot given like specific key here. Okay. So clustered column store indexes will create based on the table. You can just execute this query. Okay, so here we are getting another issue. You cannot create more than one clustered index on a table customer. So we have already one clustered index, right? We have created with the primary key ID. So it then automatically created the cluster index, right? So we can just remove this index, existing index. We can just remove. Okay. Now we can try to create that index. Now column index is created. We can just refresh that table. See, we have created with the Columnstore index. Okay. So in the we are creating the clustered Columnstore indexes. We cannot provide the columns name. It is basically it is created based on that tuple. Okay. So this way we can create the clustered Columnstore indexes. And in a table, we can create only one clustered index also. One column store indexes also. We can create one column store index only. We can just try with, we can create one non-clustered index. Okay. So create non non-clustered column store index idx customer, right? Customer. We can check like name and country. Okay. So suppose name in column store indexes, we can create that based on that columns. Country, phone, customer. Here we can give name, comma, country. You can try to execute this query. See, multiple column store indexes are not separated. We cannot create multiple column store indexes. We can create only one column store indexes. Okay. So here, what we can do, we can delete this Columnstore indexes and try. Okay. We can delete this clustered Columnstore indexes. Now this deleted. Now we can try. Execute this query. Now we are created a non-clustered Columnstore indexes. Just refresh this data. Now we created a non-clustered Columnstore indexes. Okay. So we can create only one column store indexes in a table. A table contains only one column store indexes. Okay.